Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. It's National Bird Day, Tony. Name your favorite bird.
I'm Tony Kornheiser. Sue, Larry, Dennis, Admiral Richard. Does Admiral Richard count because it's B-Y-R-D? Does it count?
Yeah.
Do you remember Bird Averett?
I was going to say,
Bird
I know you covered and knew to some degree Bird Averett.
Yeah.
Played for Sonny, Charles' old coach at Auburn.
I don't know who Charles's coach was at Auburn.
Yes.
No, come on, tell me who it is.
It'll come.
It's the guy with the rock test.
Yes,
right?
the rock.
Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, the Pistons eliminate the Magic. The Canadiens somehow top the Lightning. And a big moment in horsey world down at the Derby. But we begin today with the Philadelphia 76ers winning 3 playoff games in a row, 2 in Boston, including Game 7, and pushing the Celtics out of the playoffs. Philadelphia will open its second-round series against the Knicks tonight in New York. Wilbon, is the bigger headline the rise of the Sixers or the fall of the Celtics?
Well, usually we like to go, both of us, from our old newspaper days, you go with the immediate story that you put to bed, that you cover up with dirt like a coffin. And that would be the Celtics. Because to me, of their stubborn defiance of playing one way only and either not having a plan B or refusing to go to the plan B. And either one is just get off the stage. If that's your solution, we don't have a plan B. It's the Celtics. Of course they have a plan B. They didn't want to use it. Get out of here.
Well, they're out of here.
So I'm going to the Sixers.
Really?
Yes.
No.
Because Joel Embiid, you know how I feel about Joel Embiid. And I know you think he's great, but he's just never out there.
Yes.
Which is, I can't refute that.
That's right.
But to see Embiid out there with Maxey and with Paul George and with the Rook, it's just, they got 4 players. They got more than that, but they got 4 guys you can put out there that you can look anybody left in the Eastern Conference eye to eye. The Sixers did that. And Embiid, we did not think Embiid was going to ever get to this point in this series.
No.
Maybe next year. We didn't think he would do this. The Sixers, okay, you like making fun of the Sixers, but don't you find them on some level irresistible?
No, I don't find them irresistible. No,
I mean, in terms of appeal.
No, I don't find them irresistible. There are teams out there that are irresistible. The Sixers are not an irresistible team. You're wrong in what you're saying. You're a newspaper guy. The headline is the Celtics. The Celtics are a recent champion.
Yeah.
The 76ers are not a recent champion.
No.
The Celtics had a 3-1 lead. Let me just go to the bottom of my notes first, and then I'll work back to Joel Embiid. Philadelphia was 0-18 in playoff series when losing 3-1. 0-18. The Celtics were 32-0 when winning 3-1. This could be the worst loss in the Celtics' history. That's how bad it is. And that's why that's the headline. Now, I want to give the Sixers credit for a bunch of things. I want to give their coach credit for having a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. He's got a behemoth out there in Embiid when he's healthy. But when he's healthy, he feeds him the ball down low, tells him to turn around, hit a 2-point shot, or get fouled. And consequently, in games 5, 6, and 7, Embiid made 28 2-point shots and 24 foul shots. So the Celtics don't have anything like that. The Celtics chuck and duck. That's all they do.
Let's give Maxey some credit, too. Because late in that game, when you want somebody to go to the basket,
he took over. 1,
2, 3, and the third time was 2 foul shots because he got fouled going to the basket. Maxey, let me ask you something. Anybody on the Knicks going to cover him?
I don't want to look ahead that much.
It's tonight.
I don't want to look. No, but I want to deal with this. And it's not. Maxey is fine. But here's what happened with the Celtics. In those 3 games, 5, 6, and 7, 129 3-pointers. They made 36. That's 28%.
Terribly.
Philadelphia, 103, and made 37. 36%. So at Boston's best, Philadelphia was more efficient. They got beat by their... Look, it looks great when the threes go in, and this is what happens when they don't.
And what else looks bad, even though he spoke factually to some of it, was Jaylen Brown then going out and saying...
Referees are not going to help him ever again. And he was my MVP this year.
But he made some points. And look, he's not the first person or the only person to say Embiid does too much flopping around out there. He's not the first or only person. Right. The optics of that aren't good coming off a 3-1 series lead blown.
Let us stay with the NBA and turn to the other 2 series winners from yesterday, Detroit and Cleveland. The Pistons came back from 3-1 down to Orlando. They rode the 109 points of Cade Cunningham over games 5, 6, and 7 to win. Cleveland won at home to eliminate Toronto in a 7-game series where the home team won every game. Wilbon, did the Pistons or Cavaliers earn more of your respect with their first-round win?
Tony, I don't want to lavish either one of these teams that won and advanced and will now play each other. I don't want to lavish them with a bunch of praise because, to me, and Detroit was the 1 seed, and their coach, J.B. Bickerstaff, to me, on my ballot, was Coach of the Year in the NBA. And Cade Cunningham is the first guy on the second team, and maybe should have been on first team All-NBA. So I'm not hating on Detroit. But Orlando had that series. If Franz Wagner doesn't come up injured, lame, after playing the first 4, if he can play in those next games, the series is over, and Orlando's going to win, and their head coach is not going to be
got fired.
in the unemployment line today.
Yeah,
So
third place, you're fired.
Yeah. And Cleveland should have won that series.
Yeah,
Toronto's coming.
Okay.
I'm serious.
Okay.
Toronto's got talented, young players who understand this team, how to play together. They're not ready yet. They're sort of like Atlanta and a couple other teams, and maybe next year. I'll reverse this result next year, Toronto over Cleveland. So I don't want to go crazy with praise. They each earned it. Good for them, but,
Let me go to the numbers for people who are accounting majors and pay attention to this show about Cade Cunningham. When Franz Wagner was on him one-on-one in the first 4 games, Cade Cunningham shot 25% from the field, 6 for 24, 3 of 16 from 3, and committed 6 turnovers. Wagner then gets hurt, and Cunningham comes to life.
Of course.
And Cunningham then, in the next 3 games, gets 109 points, shoots over 50% from the field, over 60% from 3. So you have to ask yourself, as you are asking, was the team helped or, in fact, saved? Was the team saved by Cunningham being allowed to flourish?
Yeah.
Then Orlando goes down the drain in that and loses their coach. Now, you know how I feel about Cleveland. I think Cleveland can win in the East. And I said that from the day they acquired James Harden, that they can win in the East. And what we know about Detroit is that, unlike Boston, they don't shoot enough threes. They don't.
They don't have enough people who can do that efficiently.
Detroit is second to last in the NBA in threes taken. They average about 31 a game.
Which is a kiss of death in today's basketball.
In threes made, 11. So that's why I like Cleveland in that series. And also, I watched enough of Cleveland to think what I thought last year. I really like their bigs. They pass the ball so well. Cleveland finds open people all the time.
Cleveland seems to have all the elements, including an in-prime star and a fading, though still impactful star. If Harden can just have one series, and he might need to be this one, or they don't advance.
Yeah. But Wagner's absence, that hurt Orlando.
We talk about the bigger story in the first one.
Their coach is gone because of this.
He's gone, and if Wagner's in this series, he's not gone because they're playing in the second round.
Yeah. I think that's true.
And now, to 2 unusual results in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Canadiens beat the Lightning in yesterday's Game 7, 2-1, despite producing just 9 shots on goal. Meanwhile, the Avalanche scored 9 goals against the Wild while allowing only 6 in Game 1 of their series, Tom, which was the freakier result.
So I don't really know enough hockey to know which is freakier. They both seem very freaky to me. Colorado that's 15 goals. Here's a number. Since 1993.
One is the empty netter.
Since 1993, it still counts as a goal.
Well, yeah.
There's only been one other playoff game since 1993 where that amount of goals was scored, 15 goals. Colorado was up 3-0, and then suddenly was behind 5-4, then won 9-6 on that.
So you're saying, you're pointing out that it's rare.
It's very rare.
The other thing.
I'm going to get to the other thing, because the other thing probably is
never happened.
But by the way, the Minnesota goalie, he's not Swiss cheese. He had 34 saves.
Yeah.
He didn't have like 3 saves. He had 34 saves. The other thing, though, this is the only time ever, I believe.
Well, since 1956.
Well, that's when they started charting shots on goal.
9.
So that nobody has ever won a playoff game with as few as 9 shots on goal. That's 70 years, right? That's a long time. And who's in the goal for Tampa? Who's in the goal? Andre Vasilevsky. You would recognize him by his 2 Stanley Cup rings.
Yeah.
If you went to Vasilevsky at 3 in the afternoon and you said, hey, you're only going to face 9 shots tonight, he would say, I got the W. Take your day off. I'm done. I got the W.
I know. When you have a fluke goal or 2, you have weird. The entire thing is weird. I'm going to set aside 9-6. Yes, we don't see it in the playoffs.
We don't see it in regular season.
Well, you do see it in regular season every now and then.
Okay.
Every now and then. You don't ever see this other thing, and you don't see it against a guy going to the Hall of Fame.
No.
So that's it. And the Canadians, I mean, look, with Toronto not in, they're out. Didn't make it. Edmonton out.
Yeah, no, they're the only Canadian team left.
So the Canadians, this is an important result, not just a freaky result.
Do you want to hear a small freaky fact, though?
Yeah.
Tampa Bay won 2 cups in a row, did they not, a few years back? Tampa Bay's been good for a while. This is the 11th playoff home game in their last 13 home playoff games that they have lost. What do you make of that?
Home ice does not mean
anything at all.
Home football field advantage means.
Why? Why not? You have all the crowd cheering for you. Let's take a break. Coming up with Rudy Gobert.
That's what it is.
Be able to slow his fellow Frenchman Victor. Trying to find out what's popping with the peeps in mail time. I'll put on my glasses. I'll get the
mail time
ready.
Okay.
Do you expect Rudy Gobert to be able to slow Victor Wembanyama in their series that starts tonight?
I like that verb, slow. Yeah, I do. Because he just slowed Nikola Jokic.
Yes.
Who, for his career, shoots 56% from the floor, and Gobert held him to 44%. That's a big number. That's a big reduction. So, Gobert is a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. Do I think that Wembanyama can still be the best player on the floor and will be the best player on the floor? Yes, I believe that. And going forward, Wembanyama is going to eclipse everybody who's probably in this series. But I expect Gobert to make it a little more difficult for him than anybody else in basketball today.
So my position would be that I would expect in France a young Victor Wembanyama to have looked up to Rudy Gobert because he is a Frenchman as well.
So.
I am told that they are fast friends. I am told that Gobert has been a mentor to Wembanyama. And so when you say, could he slow him down? He could slow him down a little bit, I guess, because he knows all Wembanyama's tricks, because he probably taught Wembanyama some of those tricks. And you make a good point about Gobert. My refute to that is this, the Gobert and Jokic. My refute is that Wembanyama is a larger looming presence and just flashier, faster, more explosive than Jokic.
And can take Gobert out to the arc and shoot threes and reduce him.
I think that Wembanyama, and I've gotten this from you in the last year because it's nonstop slurpage of Wembanyama.
Yes.
But I believe he's like a rocket ship about to go. I will point to this. They played each other once this year. Wembanyama had 29 points. Gobert had 2. So I think we're looking at liftoff.
By the way, Ant-Man likely it seems to play. That's a huge deal with Ayo Dosunmu out and DiVincenzo out. That's a huge deal for Minnesota, which has been to the last 2 Western Conference Finals. What's your word for Golden Tempo going from last to first to win the Derby?
My word is dazzling. I got home just in time for the Nats game in order to see the race live. I was very happy. The end of the race.
Look at this. I love this.
So the horse is last, right? Golden Tempo is last. It goes from last to first. Its jockey had called the horse lazy, and then it begins to eat up ground.
Look at this.
And the overhead shot from behind and above is fabulous. Golden Tempo is so far out on the right. They tell you in horse racing, get to the rail and stay there. Golden Tempo is so far out on the right that he would need binoculars to see the rail. He passes horses after horses, and then he finally passes Renegade, which was the favorite in the 1 hole, which also worked its way all the way out to the right, and whose jockey is the brother of the jockey of Golden Tempo. I will just say this, that I hope that this horse runs into Preakness, unlike last year.
If it doesn't run into Preakness, I'm not watching the Preakness. I don't need load management from horses. Okay? I'm sorry. I don't. No Preakness.
No.
Get out of my TV.
No, it's
get off my TV.
The American dream is the Triple Crown.
You know what the comparison is? This was Usain Bolt.
Oh, okay.
This was just, and again, the drone coverage.
You're aware of Usain Bolt. Nobody was aware of this horse.
No, nobody's aware of this horse. But the drone coverage allows, I'm sure, any horse race, but the Kentucky Derby, it allows you to look at, I don't care. I was completely.
You called me up You said it was
Obsessed.
thrilling.
Exhilarating.
Thrilling.
Yes, it was.
It's not like you.
Just
The
because
horses.
I'm watching I thought it was next to last until I saw it again. And you're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
he's at the back and goes Usain Bolt
Yeah, it's
to
great.
the outside, not to the
Absolutely great.
rail.
It was great.
Unbelievable.
That's enough of your email. Let's take